Namaste. We are present together in this series called Universe, where the founder of Unlearn Living, Mr. Kuldeep Kalavar, will unravel the secrets of day-to-day life and living. How can you join us in this conversation? We're looking for questions about life, questions about complexities that you face in your day-to-day life, about anything that you don't have the answer to. You can email us at unlearnliving@gmail.com and you can participate with us in this weekly discussion series. Today, we are discussing relationships. They make us who we are. They break us even to transform us into something that we are not. But they're an inevitable part of our life. The co-author of Law of Attraction, Esther Hicks, says, there is no relationship of greater importance to achieve than the relationship between you in your physical body, right here and now, and the soul, source, or God from which you have come. If you tend to that relationship first and foremost, you will then and only then have the stable footing to proceed into other relationships. Do you agree, sir?
Absolutely. This is a multidimensional topic. Relationships between bodies, relationships between minds, relationships between hearts, and relationships between souls. Relationships are life. In fact, the quality of your relationship determines the quality of your life. Depending on the evolution of that particular person. When I say evolution, I'm not talking about the physical evolution. I'm talking about the mental evolution, the maturity, the experience, the wisdom gained from the various experiences. Slowly, your maturity grows and you begin to understand the deeper meaning behind everything that is happening in your life. It is then that you begin to value certain aspects of your life and living, and you understand that they contribute to your progress and also to your happiness. Relationships are one of the most important aspects of life. They can determine whether you are in heaven or in hell. And heaven and hell are not something distant. It is here now itself, and it is in your mind. You can be living in a palatial palace and still be in hell. And you can be, like some people who live on the road or live on the pavements, can still be living there and still be the happiest guy in the world. It's not the environment which makes you happy. It's basically your internal state of mind. And your internal state of mind is very, 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 I would say, influenced by the quality of your relationships. So let's begin to understand. I mentioned 4 aspects: relationships between bodies, between minds, between hearts, and between souls. What's the difference between them? Relationships between bodies are basically where physical parameters form the basis of your relationship, where physical beauty, physical characteristics appeal to you and you fall in love with the physical aspect of the person. When I say physical, it's not necessarily the body aspects. It could be also other physical assets like bank balance, etc. But you are attracted by his name, fame, money, power, etc. So these relationships are invariably destined to disappoint you at some moment of time. And that is where these sort of relationships do not last very long. And to expect them to give you happiness is very, very short-sighted. Somewhere or the other, you are going to get disappointed, because physical parameters can change, the environment can change, your body characteristics can change, your, let's say, financial circumstances. There are so many things which can change. So that is one area which is very temporary. Coming to the next aspect, relationships between minds. When two people work together constantly for over a long period of time, you begin to understand the other person much better. And then you begin to feel there is a vibing between the two, especially, for example, now, research scientists who've been working on a project for years. And they find that their thinking is common, their way of, approach is common, etc. And they begin to like each other and they decide to, build up a relationship. There also it lasts for quite some time, as long as both people are at the same level of development. But after some time, what happens is, either because one person progresses to a very advanced level and the other person lags behind, there's a sort of a discord which comes into that relationship. And now there is a bit of a tussle going on between the two minds. And then they begin to find it's not as comfortable as it was earlier. Happiness is not as they had anticipated. That is where these sort of relationships come into problems. The third is relationship between hearts, where people genuinely are willing to, give their life for their partner. They'll go to any extent. That is a relationship which is a very long-lasting relationship. And these sort of relations tend to overlook any deficiencies in any other aspect of life, whether it's the physical aspect, whether it's the environmental aspect which impacts the relationship. Through thick and thin, that partnership or that relationship is so strong that it lasts. It is able to overcome these challenges in life. The fourth one is the relationship between souls. This is something where it is something you cannot talk about. But the person who has reincarnated as something and the other person, there is a natural attraction towards him. For example, a guru and his disciple. So many of the masters have spoken about their relationship with the guru, where over so many lifetimes that guru has constantly been always available to them. They've talked about it openly. So this is where relationships between souls is something which is in the spiritual realm. But the most, and this is what that author says, as you say, Hicks says, is the relationship between you and your spirit. The body is a medium by which you can use this equipment. I call this body an equipment because it is basically a robot. We can use this robot to build that relationship with our source. I would call it source. And if we can do that, most people are probably not aware. The fact that you're currently listening to me, the fact that you're breathing, the fact that you had a good sleep, the fact that you've had good health, your BP is normal, your pulse rate is normal, everything is absolutely working fine. The fact that it is being maintained 24/7 into 365 every second, the fact that you are what you are as of just now is totally dependent on him. Who maintains your BP and your bloodstream, pulse rate and all the other parameters when you're asleep? You have no idea. When you're in your deep sleep state, who makes sure that his child is perfectly safe and sound? He. Even when you're awake, are you aware of what is happening inside your body? When you get angry, how is it that the blood rushes immediately to the point where it is needed? When you're cut, how is it that the blood, the white blood cells start doing their job within your body? Who controls all that? Who organizes all that? 9 months in the womb, when you were in the womb for 9 months, who took care of? Who made sure that each and every organ developed perfectly? So that source is the best relationship, because that relationship starts before you are born, while you're alive, and after you're no longer in this body. Then also that relationship continues. That is the supreme relationship which can be built up when you're here in this frame as a body. Every relationship is actually a gift from God to each one of us. The most valuable relationships are your family, immediate family. These are diamonds given to you. And these relationships form the foundation of your life, because it is your family. Your parents are the first jewels which you have been, gifted with, blessed with. The fact that they took care of you, they brought you up, they educated you, they gave you your value system literally. And invariably, family relationships have a previous background. In other words, there is some previous connection with your previous lives as far as the immediate family is concerned. So they are the, I would say, gems of your life here. Each relationship is what you make of them. Relationships are like raw diamonds given to you. What you do with them is for you to take a call. If you look for positivity, you look positively at every relationship, you will find it can take you higher and higher and higher, higher levels of satisfaction and happiness, and absolutely you can reach heaven through those relationships. If you're habituated to finding faults, then you will find faults galore, even in yourself. So everybody comes. Every diamond, every raw diamond has, just to give you an example.
Yeah.
When the raw diamond reaches the diamond cutter, that diamond cutter's job is to find out what are the best facets which can be exploited and bring out the best in this particular piece. There will be certain flaws also. He ignores the flaws or tries to reduce the flaws. If he is an expert, he will know that. But the person who is really adept at cutting and making sure that's why diamond cutters are, especially the master diamond cutter is a very valued position, because he knows exactly what to exploit. It's like a film actor, like an actor. The photographer knows which particular angles to exploit and to highlight, and which not to, So that is what he does. It's the same thing with a relationship. You look for what can help you, what can give you that joy. You look for the positive aspects of that relationship, and you find that it can take you to heaven. So relationships, the first, I would say, rule in relationships, especially wherever there is a tremendous turmoil in relationships, especially your very close and loved ones, it is better always to sit down, and just as you plan out and review your progress in life on the financial front, the social front, to sit down and work out which are the relationships which matter most to you, which for you are the most important aspects of your life. Once you have listed them, number one, to give a priority. This is number one. Say my spouse. Second, my children. And understand at this moment of time where you stand, what is your happiness portion or your contentment portion with respect to each one of those. And you have to consciously work to neutralize those flaws in the system, in your system of relationships, and make sure you work towards neutralizing those flaws and make it healthy. It is noble work like we do with any other sphere, but unfortunately, it is the loved ones whom you neglect the most. And that is unfortunately the situation as it is today. The second thing is relationships can withstand all crisis. It is only a relationship, the strength of a relationship, which helps you get through crisis. If that relationship has been bound by love, trust, faith, confidence, and respect, you will find relationships really blossom and bloom and can really bring you so much of happiness. I mean, I
So
can
true.
give examples, but not at the moment, just to tell you, but it's beautiful. So relationships are very important, especially the family relationships are the foundation of your life. If you can build up that foundation and build up that strength of your relationships, it's fantastic. Then you go out, then on the social, in the social circle, friends can be as good as your family relationships. But you have to be very wise in choosing your friends. So, but you don't need to have too many friends. You can have just a couple of them, but they could be so valuable that even if you meet after a year, they would be still fresh as they were before. It really doesn't matter because your connect is so strong. So that is as far as friends are concerned. Ultimately, they also literally become a part of the family. For example, your pets. You don't look at them as somebody outside the family. They may have a different form, but you value them so much. They are your, I would say, extension. So you consider them an extension of your family. And whatever you do for yourself, you do for them. You don't bother because they are a different form. It's the same with friends. And these are the people who will know when you're stressed, when you're sad, when you're emotional. And that is where, they automatically sense your frame of mind. And they are there to be at your side when you need them. They are there. So, friends, social circle, yes. As far as your relationships in office is concerned, if your relationships with all people in general are good and sound and positive, you will find your work becomes much easier. And in fact, people will go out of their way to assist you, support you, help you, because they know they can trust you. So the one question which you can always ask yourself, how many people trust me? How many people are willing to share their problems with me? That is an indicator of your, I would say, of your relationships.
So true. If you like what you're listening to in this series, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon right away. If you're curious about the subject that we are discussing and want to know more, visit our website www.unlearnliving.in for more information. And if these conversations really intrigue you, I strongly recommend that you join a course in living, which is conducted online by Mr. Kuldeep Kalavar via his website unlearnliving.in. Do catch us on Facebook for our latest updates for the upcoming courses. And we will be back soon with the next discussion. We will be back soon in the next discussion, really soon. So see you there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.